Good morning, Packers fans. Aaron Negler here with your Packers Daily Chat, coming to you live on the Cheesehead TV social channels. It's Thursday. The Packers are back on the practice field later today. We'll hear from Matt LaFleur and various other dignitaries of the green and gold. But right now, first up, we got to talk to you fine folks, Packers fans worldwide, because that's what we do here at Cheesehead TV. We're devoted to Green Bay Packers fans worldwide, including New York Cheesehead, who's always up in here talking some stuff. Nosh with Yash, Thursday, Cheesehead TV, 6 p.m. Look, we got enough going on. We don't need to be adding shows to the plate. Big B's here. What's up, Big B? I saw Dennis got a new hip. Dennis, hip catio. What's up, buddy? Hope the replacement went well, and I'm glad Cheesehead TV can provide a distraction for you. Vibing with Nyman on Cheesehead TV. I love it. So good. Chris, thanks for the super chat. Not sure if you know this, but on Twitter last night, I saw T.J. Watt was available to the Packers when they took Kevin King. Shocking. Stop. Oh, man. That's never going away. We all know that. Come on. We all know that narrative is never, ever leaving. Doesn't matter. It'll be 20, 30 years from now. They'll still be talking about it. Nags, please add handlebars to the stash. Too Ditka-like. No, there's nothing to do with Ditka. It's Holmgren style. Come on now. Handlebars, I'll be, that's way too hipster. No. Can't do that. Can't be doing handlebars. Absolutely not. Unfortunate situation with Kevin King. Get well soon. Agreed. It turns out he has a concussion. I hate to see that. Hopefully it doesn't linger too long. And he's right as rain sooner rather than later. Do you think Big Ben will retire at the end of this season? Thanks, Aaron Negler. Thank you, Callum. I do think he'll retire at the end of the season. I was surprised he didn't retire this offseason. He was a shell of his former self in 2020, and haven't seen anything through the first 3 weeks to suggest, more of the same, and he hasn't gotten worse. So you never want to be the get-right game, though, for a declining, aging quarterback, which the Packers, if you've expected anything out of this team throughout the years, it's like a game that they should win, that everyone expects them to win, and they don't show up. That's my greatest fear right there. So, but yes, I think Big Ben will probably call it quits after this season. Jeezy Baby, thanks for the super chat. Do you have a favorite piece of Packer memorabilia in your collection if you have a collection? I don't really have a collection. Not really my thing. That's more Corey's thing. I've got, stuff that I've gathered throughout the years, but nothing crazy, nothing insane. I'm much more about the vibe and the people and the game, Never been an autograph guy, never been a jersey guy. Although I do, was it you? Somebody on Instagram commented because I put up a picture of me holding Olive when she was a baby. And I was wearing an Aaron Rodgers jersey. And they were like, oh, you're not much of a jersey guy. I was like, yeah, well, that was a gift from my ex-wife that I felt compelled to wear. But thanks for bringing up painful memories. I'm kidding. But I'm not a jersey guy. I don't like wearing jerseys. Romo's calling the game. It's a Milwaukee crowd. Ugh. Matt, now. I've called a truce with the Milwaukee people. They came rocking it that first year while LaFleur was in town, and they've been pretty good. Now, obviously, pandemic last year, so they weren't able to kind of defend their title. But they brought it those games when LaFleur got here. So hopefully they stick with it. Because we all know the Milwaukee crowd has a tendency to be a little dull. No doubt about it. Accidental Hero, thanks for the super chat. Big Ben had Pat Lee and Jarrett Bush to pick on, but kept throwing at Tremont down a score. You ever hear him address this? I think it was much more about his guy and going, for the play and or read that was designed for his guy rather than picking on Lee or Bush. But I've never heard him talk about it specifically. Ed, thanks for the super chat. Exnay on the injury. Aaron Jones thought the Packer guys would smite you yesterday, and all that you would be left, you would be a smoldering stash. What? Injuries are part of football. They're going to get talked about. Welcome to life. That's the rest of it. I have no idea what you're talking about. Are you anti-trap game like your fellow Aaron? I loved that comment from Aaron Rodgers when he was saying, I believe someone asked him directly, which I never would do, but someone asked him directly, the danger or, the possibility of Sunday's game against the Pittsburgh Steelers being a trap game. And Aaron was very curt in his response that, trap games are a media fabrication and they only ever get talked about in the media. They don't talk about it inside, interior. Well, of course you don't. Yes, you prepare for the opponent in front of you. I get that. But the media talks about trap games because, we've seen way, 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 way too many times throughout history where teams are riding high off a victory and they fall flat the next week, or they overlook their opponent, or whatever, And I understand. Yes, you're right, Aaron, that only the media talks about it. Correct. The media observes and then speaks. They're only speaking about what they observe. No harm in that. Now, all that said, what's so funny is that I agree with him. I have said multiple times on this here channel, the trap game, there's no such thing as a trap game. Every game is difficult. Every game is hard, But I understand why, my fellow media members, which is weird to say, but I get why they say that stuff because that's what they observe. So they talk about it. It's not crazy. But yeah, I get why I get why people do it. I get why he says it. And we all go about our merry way. Marshall, thanks for the super chat. Now that there are 17 games, do you think the Packers will ever get back to playing a game or two in Milwaukee per year? Never in a million years, Marshall. Not going to happen. It's all about making Lambeau Field a destination, not only 17 times, but 20 plus, year round, etc. No, they're not going to be playing games in Milwaukee. Bob Harlan made that call correctly, and they are growing the area around Lambeau, Titletown, etc. No reason to be playing. The whole reason they played in Milwaukee in the first place is because they needed the gate receipts and they, drum up interest, etc. Because don't forget, they were fucking terrible when they were playing in Milwaukee. And that's why it was so special to have Brett dive into the end zone against Atlanta and get them to the playoffs in Milwaukee County Stadium. But yeah, no, I don't see that ever happening. I keep forgetting that we'll be getting Bakhtiari and Elton back. Yeah, at some point, Matt. Doesn't sound like Elton will be back this week, but it's kind of crazy to think about, right? The fact that they went and did what they did on Sunday night, and that team is going to get 2 premier offensive linemen back. Hello. Yes, please. Pretty awesome. Why would they ever play Milwaukee after all the development around Lambeau? I mean, that's it, right? That's the whole point. But don't get me wrong, the idea of more games, I understand someone wanting maybe a traveling team, so to speak, but that ain't going to happen. I do miss County Stadium, though. Oh, yes, as do I. Place of my youth. Ned Flanders says Milwaukee tickets. I think we can stop their run game. We win big. If we can stop their run game. We better stop their run game. They have no run game. They don't even run the ball. And when they do try, their offensive line is fucking terrible. So they better stop this run game. I'm much more worried about Harris, the rookie back out of the backfield in the passing game. I talked about this on Transplants last night. It's a classic case of a guy who can get into space and make our linebackers and safeties look silly. He's super talented. And they have not had much success on the ground with him. But I do think you put him in space, use him in the screen game, use him on option routes. Yeah, he could be a real issue. No doubt about it. County was a dump, but I do miss its charm. Well, that's the old Stephen A. clip. Let's be nice. Let's be nice. I mean, you're not wrong, but you didn't have to say it. Savage is fast watching some film. I tell you what, yeah, the explosion to the football is noticeable. And his route recognition and breaking on the football. Now, you do wonder, and I think I heard Collinsworth talk about this on the broadcast. You do wonder, okay, maybe they didn't in game San Francisco, but offensive coordinators down the line are going to go, okay, you're going to be breaking on these in cuts and you're going to be kind of really flying to the football. Well, then we're going to give you a little and go. So that's something to watch for, definitely. But yes, you can see he's really confident, and you love to see it. We have Campbell. Campbell's really good, but Harris is really good as well. The other team gets paid. I mean, we have Jair Alexander, and he still gave up a touchdown. Guys, there are other good players in the league. Welcome to the NFL. It's okay to admit that. I promise you, it's okay. Has Royce Newman been as bad as PFF thinks? It's never as bad as PFF says, but if there's been like the weak link, so to speak, yeah, he's been it. There's no doubt about that. But I don't think he's played poorly. I know their whole thing is they got a grade and then they do the rankings and blah blah blah. And who gives a shit? Those rankings aren't worth the pixels they're printed with. All right, you can ignore all that. But yeah, there's lots for him to work on. There's no doubt about it. But they've also executed at a high level with him in there on, 60, 70, 80 reps. So it's not like he can't do it. He's just got to be more consistent with the good stuff and eliminate the bad. Uncultured Barbarian, what's up, man? Thanks for the super chat. My favorite county stadium memory is us yokels from up north being so drunk one game. The next year, a security guard saw us pulling into the parking lot and said, "Oh no, not these guys again." That's outstanding. Oh, I love it. That is good. I like Chris Barnes. I like Chris Barnes too, Steven. However, he is in dealing with a concussion at the moment. Good players in the NFL and other teams tell that to Chicago Bears fans. Scott, they have plenty of good players. Akeem Hicks is a good player. Robinson's a good player. Hell, I think Fields will be a good player. There's talent there. They have, no offensive line. That hurts them. There's plenty of talent on the Bears team. A lot of good players. Pumpkin Pie Super Sticker. Thanks, buddy. Very much appreciate it. Thank you. Rodgers was the 30th ranked out of 32 quarterbacks according to PFF. When was that? I didn't see that. How does Steelers run game rank? Not great. It's not very good. They don't commit to it, first of all, but probably because when they try, they can't really move people. Yeah, they've had real issues with it. What else we got? How you feeling about Tyler Davis? Interested to see what he brings to the table. Sorry guys, I'm gonna cough this morning. Justin Houghton said in his presser yesterday, got to see some more tape. I mean, it's not like there's tons out there that you can look at for this guy, but excited to see him on the field. Ben always throws for 500 against us. Can't write him off. That's what I was saying, Josh. You don't ever want to be that get right game. History suggests, Ben is going to spread it out. He's going to find holes in the zone, pick his matchups. Hopefully they clamp it down, but it's not like he's forgotten how to play. It's just some of the skills are diminished, no doubt. Hoping for a big game out of MVS on Sunday. I love watching him grow as a player. Well, Zeke, unfortunately, he is dealing with a hamstring injury. Didn't practice yesterday. We'll see if he's out there this afternoon. But if he doesn't practice today, I would suspect there's, probably not a great chance that he's out there against the Steelers. I think TJ Watt is thinking about how much he'd love to get an INT versus the GOAT of TD-INT ratio, Aaron Rodgers. I don't think he's thinking about much of anything other than getting back from his groin injury. I think that's probably top of mind, so to speak. Kyle, thanks for the super chat. What we got here? Not as much season related, but if Devontae left, do you think they'd actually spend money on receiver to replace him? No, not outside the building. Maybe they'd dabble in free agency, second level. There's so many guys to pay, though. They're not going to break the bank for anybody outside the building if they're not going to break the bank for Devontae. That doesn't make any sense. Also, I still don't think Devontae's leaving. Can't believe that this is only the second meeting between Rodgers and Big Ben aside from the Super Bowl. Yeah, it's crazy, right? Because Rodgers was hurt the other two times. That game with Hundley was awesome. I know they lost in the end, but Hundley was great. Devontae was great in that game. I'm still pissed about talking about TJ Watt. I'm still pissed about TJ Watt's cheap fucking headshot on Hundley at the end when they were trying to run 2-minute drill. Basically lost in the game. That was so cheap. I remember Bakhtiari was pissed about that. But yeah, no, it's weird, right? For as long as Rodgers and Big Ben have been in the league together, I mean, Big Ben was 1 year before Aaron in the draft. Only, third time facing off in the regular season. It's kind of crazy. Jamal Williams season. All right, Big B. He plays for another team now, buddy. I don't know if you know this. Uh, the Pack are letting Tay walk because they want to run the wing T, baby. I kid. LOL. Nice. If Tom Capers' defense was predicted in creating and getting, or predicated on creating and getting turnovers, what is this current D mantra? Well, the disguise pre-snap into different looks post-snap. That is what it's all about. Now, how much of that are the Packers leaning into? I have no idea. But Aaron talks about it all the time when he talks about this defensive scheme. How the looks are all very, very similar pre-snap for the quarterback. They make it tougher having to diagnose things prior to the snap of the football. Now, again, now every iteration is different. What Joe Barry is exactly doing every down to down, we don't have enough data yet to really kind of extrapolate any kind of this is what we're about kind of thing. But traditionally, coming from Staley's stuff that he ran in LA last year, that's the idea. Make it really tough on the quarterback to get a pre-snap read. If MVS is out, who's in, Amari or Malik? Probably a combination of both, although I would suspect more Malik because he helps on teams. Amari played, 2 snaps last game? Can't imagine that suddenly jumping to 20, but you never know. If Lancaster and Lowry had a baby, it would be Heflin. Agree? Wow. Wow. No, but sure. Why not? I don't even know what that means. I miss Jamal. I know you do, Big B. I know you do, buddy. EQ will probably step in. It's possible, Jill, if they activate him again from the practice squad. But I doubt he'd be a focal point of the offense or in the rotation on a big time basis. But you never know. Certainly never know. Jamal misses you too. Do you think Rodgers cares about what teams he's beat and not in the regular season? Steelers are the only team besides the Packers that Rodgers hasn't beat in the regular season. Not really. I think it's a nice kind of footnote, but I don't think he's staying up nights worrying about it. He's got a lot of bigger fish to fry. That Lancaster Lowry comment made me laugh ginger ale out of my nose. Nice. Hit like, please. Yeah. Listen to Mick. Hit like. All right, guys, I'm going to get going. I can't thank you guys enough. Oh, Matt's got a last second super chat. How hard a task do the DBs have against the Steelers wide receivers? Decent size, especially if Juju can go. I think Clayton's a talent. They're gonna have to man up, and it's gonna be interesting to see how much man they play. And if King is still out, it's gonna be a nice big test for Stokes. No question about it. All right, buddy. I'm gonna get going. Can't thank you enough. Please hit like on the video. Subscribe to the channel. Check out Packer Transplants from last night if you haven't already. In the meantime, check out everything we do at cheeseheadtv.com. We know you have a ton of places on the internet you can go to get your Packers fix, and the fact that you utilize Cheesehead TV in any way, shape, or form really means a lot to us. Do please hit like, hit subscribe, and then tell your friends and tell your family. Cheesehead TV, we are devoted to Green Bay Packers fans worldwide.